Hello, my name is Ivana, and the case study that has been assigned to me was about the company Hill and Knowlton. And as we all know, the knowledge management has become critical for businesses nowadays because the industries are becoming more and more complex. The globalization is increasing at a fast rate, and just customer needs are just constantly changing and increasing. So, information is represented by a flow of messages, and knowledge is represented by the very flow of information. And a company creates value from what is retained during the knowledge creation. So, the company Hill and Knowlton, their organization goal was to turn the tacit knowledge into explicit one. So, tacit knowledge is represented by the skills, experiences, ideas that people have from their personal experiences, and the explicit knowledge is represented by information that is being easily stored and accessed. So, to give a little bit of information about the case study, it was awarded as the Agency of the Year in the year 2001, and they were managing everything. They were having product launches, communication during crisis, projects, single projects, team projects, and they were managing so many client projects. So in the 1990s, the startups and the tech companies grew significantly, and the turnover for the PR practices highly affected the company. So they would need to train new employees and make efforts to keep the qualified employees. And also, all the information about the projects that were going on and all the client relationships were being lost if an employee would leave. So moving on to the next slide, the company built a website, hk.net. This website gave the employees and the client access to information, of course, based on their needs. And not everybody could access all the information. They could only access what they need to access. That was important for the organization because it brought individuals together in the virtual world, and it helped to find easier information that they needed for their job. So, for example, an employee was performing a task, then the system would send him a notification with information that can be useful for him when performing that particular task. So actually, to give a personal example, I've been working as a project manager, and I was asked by my boss to implement in the system everything, every little and big task. So at that point, for me, it seemed like a waste of time because I even had to implement how much paper I bought, what sizes of paper I bought, and I didn't understand the reason why I have to waste time. But of course, after reading all the posted material and understanding knowledge management, I do believe that the company would have spent more money in the future if I didn't implement the information about each task. Because now the program Asana, every 3 months or 2 months, depending on how often I input that order paper, order this size. Now for the new employee that's working now in my position, he's gonna get a notification, and now he doesn't need to go to the storage, keep track of everything, keep track of the paper. Anyway, so in the case study, Graham, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correct, he came up with the idea to archive all client-related emails. So I do believe that brings value to the customers because managers can also keep track of the process of the projects and keep a high level of quality service as a standard, of course. So in this case, if an employee leaves, then the client doesn't have to spend time explaining the project again, explaining its needs, explaining the progress, because everything is stored. So this also brings value to the employees because they can find themselves in a complicated situation that their colleagues was in the past in. So now they can just go to the archive and see, okay, what did my colleague did in this situation. So this saves the employee, the client, and the organization time and keep the customer satisfaction high. And also, clients are going to be their services are going to be performed faster because now everything is in the system. Moving on to the next slide, concerns and solutions. So as I said, I was myself resistant to this change, and I do believe that the employees from the company, Hill and Knowlton, are also going to be resistant to this change. And I do believe to fix this concern, there should be fixed solutions. And I came up with a few. Mandatory for employees as part of their task to input certain information about the job at least 3 times a week. Also, bonuses should be offered to departments that constantly share the tacit knowledge. The short-term incentives should be directly related to the senior management bonuses and should be represented by the knowledge used from the other departments. So, for example, if I'm in the marketing department, I am being offered bonuses, based on how much information I use from the system, from the, events department, and or because they are about their organization or about their needs, how they handle employees, how they handle orders, and so on. So another solution is represented by having a bestseller list for the employee that posts the most and has the most meaningful contribution. Also, when all the client-related emails are being archived, I do believe that small incentives should be offered, like gift certificates, free meals, free food, free coffee. This is something really small, but it's gonna make the employees feel appreciated for the work they are putting in. In conclusion, I do believe that in an organization like Hill and Knowlton, knowledge management is crucial because they have so many projects going on and so many of them are client related. And as I mentioned, if the turnover of the employees is high, then they are going to be wasting a lot of time and money without this knowledge management system in place. And to summarize, it benefits both the employees and the customer. And the critical problem is that the employees are resistant to change because it takes time to make changes in an organization, and also maybe they don't see the long-term benefits. But this can be significantly improved with the solutions mentioned above. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy my presentation.